everyone. Today is Friday, May 2nd, and today we will cover the trades for YieldMax funds, TSLY, CONY, Nvidia, Misty, Simsy, and PLTY. Normally on the Friday, we'll go through pretty much all the trades only because we're getting to the closeout of the week. I'm not going to do that today. There weren't too many to begin with, but the real reason is at the end of this video, I'm going to do my Dividend car account update. So I don't want to make this video too long. And obviously tomorrow's video, I will cover the end of day or the end of week trades for all the funds, as we go through. So anyway, let's get to it. So obviously, yes, YieldMax coverage, then options trading coverage, and then Dividend car coverage. So no timestamps, so I'm sorry. I saw someone asked about that again yesterday. I don't do timestamps. What I do is I hit record and I post, and that's pretty much the end of it. Unfortunately, I just don't have the time. I mean, I barely got even this done. This is crazy. I had a double header last night. Got home at 9:30. Then I had to do the freaking trades, which there were a lot, as you can see, for Misty. And then this morning, obviously, I have to update the holdings and then go from there. All right, so anyway, what did Misty do? Well, for one, MSTR had earnings yesterday, which, again, I don't think it's even matters at this point. Yeah, everyone just cares what they're doing with Bitcoin. So, but I'll cover a few points on the earnings on the spreadsheet. But, as far as the trades go for Misty, so basically, they did some closures from the weeklies and they did some closures from the synthetics. And you can see that here. But obviously, I'm just not going to go through the trades on here. I'm going to go through the trades on the spreadsheet. I just wanted to show you the number of trades, which is not that bad. Tonight, it's going to be a lot more. So that being said, if you enjoy this content, just want to remind you, please hit the like button. It does help out the channel. Okay? All right, so let's go to the file and see where we're at. All right, so now they have three synthetics, all right? They had a 330. So what they do with the 330 yesterday? Yesterday was May 1st. They closed out, or they removed or sold 1,000 contracts, then 16,400 contracts, and then 27,925 contracts, leaving 21,650 contracts left over on the 330. And you can kind of see like what they made, for those, which I did not add. I guess I can real quick. We'll just do equals. It doesn't give us much room in this stupid spreadsheet. That plus that plus that plus that plus that plus that. There you go. Equals there 262.5 million. Why does it say no connection? You can still edit recent files. I don't know what that's going to do. But I should be on Wi-Fi. And I am. Whatever. Yeah, so they made 262 million from the synthetic 330, again, leaving 21,000 contracts left over, which is still in a good spot because MSTR is priced 15% above the 330. They also had a synthetic 340. They decided, let's close this whole thing. So they essentially closed out 18,040 contracts, which is all of them. And they made 108 million on that one. Obviously, awesome, great job. And what did they do with all, where did they roll it to? They rolled it to a 390, right? Actually, 18,040, did they? Yeah, so 18,040, 16,4, 27. Yeah, and I think 1,000 was from people selling out of the fund, which I didn't really see on the outstanding share change. But whatever, they added the contracts to the 390. In the end, it cost them about 20.6 million, which, as you can see here, this new synthetic, again, 390, it expires June 20th. It's not at the money. Obviously, MSTR is a little lower, so MSTR did come down after the fact that, when they rolled this, more than likely. But whatever. We got some time now. Again, they didn't go too far out in expiration, but again, sometimes they cannot. So, that's the synthetic update. Now, as far as the weeklies are concerned, let's go to that tab and first see how MSTR did yesterday. MSTR on May 1st, it went up 0.39%. MSTY went up 0.62%. Okay, not bad. But as far as the weeklies go, let's see. We want to see what we can get in one screen. Oh, man, this has not been a good sleeping week. That is for sure. I'm not even going to get into that, but let's see. Okay, so we covered all that. So, all right, so here's what they closed out. 600 contracts they closed out. It was a 385 strike. Yeah, they lost that, obviously. MSTR is at, wait a second, 381. How the hell? Okay, so I guess I didn't even look at this when I was doing it yesterday, but they closed it out. They must have closed it out when MSTR was higher. But whatever. They probably did all this and the synthetics when it was high. But regardless, they lost that trade. They lost about 659,400 in total for that trade. Now, if we go to this 385, again, it's out of the money now. But whatever. They paid $19.13 per share on that, and they got $1.97 credit on the call credit spread piece, the buy call. But in the end, it was a total loss, $7.5 million on the sold call, and they did make $363,000 on the bought call. So another blow through there, and then another 385 right here. Again, MSTR was up yesterday. I forget how high, but obviously it looks like they closed a lot of these weeklies when they were at the high, and then it came back down, and then obviously it does not look so good at this very moment. What they did. This one they paid $11.11 per share for the 385. Overall, let's see how much they lost. They lost 1.6 mil. Plus the 238,000 net, so they lost about 1.9 mil in total on that credit call spread trade. All right, so let's go here. 1,000 contracts. This had a 390. I mean, that's still 2.2% out of the money, again, as of the closing price. However, they did pay $10.14 per share to close it. So unfortunately, another loser, over 500K loss on that one. And then we go here. What do we got? 4,400 contracts. This one's a 382.50 strike. This one, again, what's the closing price? 381.60, but they paid $17.07 per share on that, and they lost 4.8 million in total. And then they opened new trades down here. If you look, May 1st, right? And they went out one day. That part I like, right? The part that they closed out the weeklies, they didn't know what the hell was going to happen, that MSTR was going to come back down. So I'm not going to harp on that too much. But, going 1 DTE, again, 1 DTE, 1 day till expiration options, pretty good. I like it. And what did they do? They went 6, 4, 11, 6% out of the money. Hey, possible just additional premium we can make. Hopefully it works out. We'll see. Net. But obviously, since these closed today, that's what I was saying. I'm going to have a lot of freaking trades today. Everything expires today. Nothing. They didn't move anything the next week. So, busy trade day tonight. Woo-wee. All right, so that's the update for the weeklies. Obviously, we got whooped. All right, we got whooped in the weeklies. And that's not even all of it, right? But we'll see how today goes. Maybe we'll get like a flat, chill day. I don't know. But let's see where we stand with the holdings, and then we'll come back. So, let me zoom out. I just want to see the as-at totals. And again, for those of you that are not aware, I do a midday update every day, every trading day around lunchtime. I update people with this information on X. So if you're interested in that, you could follow me at Retire on Dividend, no D. All right, so they got 5 calls, kind of scattered-y-doo, but 385, that's tight. That's 0.89% out of the money. They got a 390, 2.2% out of the money. They got a 390, 250, 2.86% out of the money. They have a 400 now, 4.82% out of the money, and then a 405, 6.13% out of the money. So we'll see how these hold up for the day, and then we'll go from there. Again, crypto's been doing rather well lately, and we'll see if that keeps going. Back to the weeklies tab. Outstanding shares. Here's the decrease. Oh, it was a decrease, actually. Decrease of 275K after the increase of 275K. So, what happened? People bought into the fund and then they sold out of the fund because they got their dividend? I guess. I don't know. It may have worked out, though. All right, well, let's see. Well, it depends when they bought it. Misty wasn't really moving much the past few days. All right, so here's the recaps. 30-day IV, 67%. Outstanding shares, 134 mil, 200,000. Total net income from the weeklies, unfortunately, it's a loss of $100 million. They lost $100 million on the weeklies so far. But don't worry, they got synthetic income. All right, so I was just informed by one of my Twitter, aka X friends, Defiance did launch a new fund. Credit, I didn't really read it, but it looks like a 2x. They're gonna trade 2x MSTR. I don't know. I have to look more into it. I'm not gonna cover it today. I'm not gonna cover it tomorrow. Maybe sometime next week. But they are launching today, so look out for MST. All right. So yesterday, MSTR they went up 0.39%. Misty went up 0.62%. And IMST went up 0.28%. So Misty did win again. Once MST launches, again, this is for the Defiance Fund. I did talk about a Rec Shares Fund. I don't know that ticker, and I don't know the launch date. But we may have 4 on here pretty soon, and it's going to be a competition. I'll have to update this winner formula to do the proper calculation, which is a pain in the ass. But once it's done, right? But when there's 4, it's a little harder, actually. I'll have to... Maybe there's a quicker formula, like if or whatever's, I don't know. We'll figure it out. Anyway, let's move on. Reaction, yeah, emergency use only, right? Synthetic bailout, right? But yeah, anyway, but what does that mean? I mean, basically, that means they closed out their synthetics, some of them, right? They did leave some of the 330, I believe it was. So, and good. We were expecting it, and we were hoping for it before declaration date, which is 5 days away, May 7th. Are you ready for the numbers? I know you guys are waiting for this next tab, which is exciting, very exciting, and let's get to it. So, synthetic income, 680 mil. Insane. That's freaking nuts. But unfortunately, we have to deduct the weeklies of 100 mil loss, and that's a total net income of 579 mil. Let's share it with all these suckers, these 134 million suckers, and that comes to $4.32 per share. Before you go crazy, running around in circles, running outside naked, doing cartwheels, don't be doing that. Let's relax. Let's slow it down. Remember, the other weeklies that are open, they could still get blown through. We could lose a lot of money. So we'll see what this number comes to by the end of the week. So no, you're probably not getting a $4 dividend. So just chillax a little bit. Let's see how today goes. Hopefully we're still in the $3 range. Obviously, I think we should be. Because, of course, they could still close the 330 synthetic and what's left of it. And, we'll see how it goes. Oh, my God, this no connection crap. This is going to be a problem. But anyway, so that's the high. The very, very high at the moment, 432. The low is based on the IV, of course. So the low is $1.28. So what is your guesstimate as of today? Anywhere from $1.28 and as high as $4.32. But again, if I was to guess, it would be in the $2 range. I still think they're going to pay, they would not pay 4. I don't think they're going to pay 3. I would say like 250 range. If I was just to guess today, if someone forced me to guess. Okay, so let's talk about the MSTR holdings. There's a lot going on here. 2 synthetics. They have a 330 that expires May 16th and a 390 that expires on June 20th. So we'll see how that plays out. Now, the calls we talked about. Did I look at I just want to make sure my synthetic formula is correct. So we got H19. Yeah, it is. Okay. Yeah, so the new synthetic amount, income-wise, on paper is 75 cents per share. So yeah, not much, but obviously it's taking into consideration the new synthetic too. So we'll see if they close out the 330, what that's worth alone. The value of the fund though, massive, 3.3 billion, which is, it's crazy. The NAV is 24.59, trade price 24.49. The synthetic contract total 84,015, credit call spread percentage 54%. IMST, no change here, no trades for them. When MST launches, I'll do the same thing. I'll add the holdings for them. But again, that's going to add more time to the video. So I'm probably going to be dropping, based on unpopular vote, one of the YieldMax funds. Or 2. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. Because, we want to see what the competitors do. We love MSTR. We love income. And there's there's a lot of good opportunity out there to trade MSTR and make some good income and growth sometimes, believe it or not. But anyway, yeah, no change on IMST calls. So their current situation, they have a 350 that expires May 16th, 8.28% in the money. Obviously, that one's in danger, which is why, they are what? They are capity-doo-da, capity-day. Cap, what a wonderful day. All right, we got a 390 that expires May 9th. That's next week. That's 2.2% out of the money, so that's okay as well. Oh, yeah, and of course, MSTR had earnings. Oh, my God, yay. Do we care? I guess so, but I just wrote some notes here about their... see, this is not updated. Well, whatever. Stupid. How am I not connected to the freaking internet? But whatever, man. The subscription services revenue, if you guys care, 37.1 mil. That's a 61% increase year over year. BTC yield, 13.7% BTC yield achieved in 2025. 61,497 BTC gain in 2025. 5.8 billion BTC gain achieved in 2025 year to date. Wait. Oh, the BTC gain above, I think there was the coin. Is that the coin number? I don't freaking know. Whatever, man. Again, I don't know if we care about this too much for the earnings information. You guys let me know. I might just delete the earnings 5 as far as this goes. They increased their target for the BTC yield from 15 to 25%. And they increased their BTC gain target from 10 billion to 15 billion. So obviously they are more bullish on Bitcoin for this year. So that's good to see. All right. So anyway, that's Misty in a nutshell. A lot of information. I know. Crazy. So who had trades? Well, Nvidia's next up, but let's go to the file. We got to talk about TSLY and then we'll move on. Let's see if this loads. I don't know. Again, freaking says I got no internet. All right. So how did Tesla do yesterday? Well, they went down 0.58%. TSLY went down 0.24%. So, okay. Just a blah kind of day. We like blah. I didn't see any trades, but they have synthetics. Duh. Yeah. 225 and a 280. Tesla's at 280. So synthetics are doing well. Let's see how their weeklies are. Do any expire May 9th for next week? No, everything expires today. Happy Friday. All right, let me zoom out. I feel like this video is too long already, right? Oh, all right, so what do we got? Here we go. Scatter-doo-doo. All right, Tesla has 5 strike prices: 287.50, 292.50, 300, 302.50, and 307.50. Okay, are they out of the money? Yes, all of them are. The lowest one is 2.49% out of the money. The highest one is 9.62% out of the money. So, scattery doodah they may come in handy. So they have a 2% out of the money, 4% out of the money, 6% out of the money, 7% out of the money, and 9% out of the money. So pretty good spot to be in, to be honest. Doing well. All right, the value of the TSLY fund still under that bill. They can't seem to get that bill. So the value of the fund is 993 mil. I mean, that's still pretty damn good. Synthetic on paper is worth $1.24 per share. So that's pretty nice. All right, 30-day IV for Tesla is 63%. That's nice as well. Again, finally, some appreciated freaking IV for Tesla. IV estimate based on that, 41 cents. Income estimate, 25 cents. Group A declares on May 14th, 12 days away. Do you believe it? All right, so now we'll talk about Nvidia, and more Nvidia. So first, we have to go to this file and see what they did yesterday. They did a buy to close. They closed what? The 110? And they looks like they lost that trade because the stock price was 111 and they paid 502 per share to close that one. So yeah, man, ouchie. Looks like they may have been up for the day, maybe have come down, similar to MSTR, but hey, whatever. They opened a new trade for next week. They sold a call for 120, 7.52% out of the money, and that expires again May 9th next week. So anyway, let's go to the files. All right. Nvidia, how'd you do? How you doing? Well, they went up 2.41% yesterday. Nvidia went up 2.04%. That's an 84% capture. Good job, Nvidia. Again, 80% is our goal, at least in my eyes. I don't know what you guys think. Synthetic-wise, they got 2. They got a 95. They got a 110. They both expire May 16th. Nvidia's at 111, so far, so good. Oh, yeah. All right, so let's look at the calls. 3 strikes expiring today. 111 is in the money, 0.55% in the money. And then they got a 113 and a 114, 1 and 2% out of the money. Danger, get on the floor. All right, and then they got a call for next week, a 120, 7.52% out of the money. Okay, we'll see how that all plays out. All right, the value of the Nvidia fund is 1.3 bill. The NAV is 1471 and the trade price is 1468. I know I'm getting annoying, but again, it's just that time, time of the video where you get a little loopy. All right, synthetic income, it's about 120 per share on paper. So can you say cha-ching? 30-day IV of Nvidia is 54%. IV estimate based on that, 62 cents. Income estimate shows negative. Group B declares in 19 days on May 21st. Up next, it's your boy, the Conehead. Let's see if they had a trade. Yeah. Oh, they had some damn trades. They had a lot of trades. Oh, my goodness. All right, so what did they do? They closed out the 185 synthetic. They made a lot of money, and they moved it to a 200 synthetic. Okay. And then what they do here? They closed out the... they closed out a call that got a strike price of 220. Wow, okay. No, they won. They won that call. That's good. All right, so they closed out the 220. They won that trade, and they opened a new one for next week. There's another 220. They won that trade. And then they closed another synthetic, the 185. And where's the sell call? There it is. Yeah, they made, wowza. No, they did pretty damn good yesterday, to be honest. Yeah, man. So this is going to juice up their income on the group's value, which I didn't update, unfortunately. But no, good. CONY's been doing pretty good this week, I have to say. We don't go into too much detail, but you can just kind of see from the trades how they're doing. But anyway, how did Coin do yesterday? Well, Coin went down 0.79%. CONY went down, oh my God, 8.99%. What are we going to do? Well, guys, obviously yesterday was ex-dividend date, which means it will drop by the amount of the distribution, plus or minus whatever coin does. So that is why. We know that. We all know that, but we have to explain it. All right, synthetics, they got 3. They got a 195 and a 220 that expire May 16th. Coin is at 201. So it's kind of like almost in between, not really. And then they have one that's at the money, but that expires June 20th. So we'll see how that all plays out. All right, so where do we stand for this week? Anything in red? All right, I know, I have no connection. All right, enough. That's going to screw me up in the freaking pre-market, I guess, right? But hey, whatever, man, whatever. We can only cover what we can cover. You know, this is not advanced stuff here, right? CONY. What do you got? You got 3 strikes, 215, 6% out of the money. That's the lowest. I feel pretty good about that. 217.50, 8% out of the money. That's pretty good. And that 220, 9% out of the money. So that's pretty awesome. So I'm pretty, 3 strikes, kind of spread out, which is good, right? Is it scattered-y-do? No. But 3's enough. The value of the fund, 989 mil. The NAV is 748. Great. Synthetic-wise, too early. Only worth 10 cents per share. 30-day IV, 66%. IV estimates, 38 cents. Again, I didn't update the income estimate formula because I'm expecting more of Group C's to come in today. But they declare again 26 days on May 28th. But I just want to show you, they did make 54 million since declaration date. 54 million. So obviously income per share is going to look pretty good. So you got to wait till tomorrow's video. I will populate that. All right. I'm not doing that on purpose. Like, come back tomorrow and you can. No, I just didn't want to update it. Because why? Because more of the freaking funds get filled in on the pivot table once they all have trades for the week. That's why. If that makes sense to you guys. All right. Let's go to Simsy, where are you? Simsy. Okay. All right. Simsy. Rough go at it, right? I believe they did recover yesterday. I didn't look at the movement. We'll look at it in a second. What are they close? About to close. Call 37.50. They won that trade. Cha-ching. About to close call 37. They won that trade. And 38. They won that trade. Why? It cost 3 cents. 5 cents, 3 cents. So, cha-ching. SMCY, they're making money. All right, let me go back again. All we do is go back and forth. All right, SMCY, yeah, see? After that awful day, the day prior, they went up 2.66%. SMCY went up 1.93%, 72% capture. Not quite 80%, but whatever. Synthetic is worth 30. SMCI is at 32, but we know they took an ass whooping on the other synthetics, so, we're still feeling that from the other day. They closed out all their trades for the week, so all of this is for next week. All of this expires May 9th. Do we care? I guess so. They are anywhere from 2, 5, 6, and 13% out of the money for next week, so we'll let today play out, and we'll go from there. The value of the fund is 128 mil. The NAV is 1802. The trade price is 1809. Synthetic is worth $1.23 per share. 30-day IV of SMCI, which looks to be the winner. I guess we'll look at Palantir, but which is awesome. 87%. IV estimate based on that, $1.21. Income estimates struggling. Group D declares 5 freaking days. Guesstimate coming this Sunday, baby, May 7th. But no. Well, May 7th is the deck date. Guesstimate is coming this Sunday, May 4th. So stay tuned for that. PLTY. All right, here's Palantir. Did they have trades? I don't think so, but I got to check anyway. No. All right, so good. Because we don't have time to talk about trades. Palantir, how'd they do? What? They didn't have to. They went down 1.93%. PLTY went down 0.85%. Hey, not bad day for PLTY considering. All right, let's take a look at their synthetics. Only one, $100. Palantir's at 116. So yeah, sucker. Yeah, where you at? All right, so look at their calls. Let's see how they're doing for the week. Well, 2 strikes for today. They're in trouble. They have a 115 and a 116, 1% in the money, and 0.17% in the money. We need Palantir to just go down a little bit today. Maybe we'll win those trades. All right, and then for next week, they are 7 and 18% out of the money. Frick yeah. All right, so the value of the fund, 282 mil, the NAV, 65, blah, blah, blah. Synthetic is worth 944. Freaking awesome. That's on paper, though. Now, 30-day IV, 86%. 86.82. What was SMCY? 87. SMCY is the winner. The IV winner. Congratulations, SMCY. What are you going to do? All right. IV estimate based on that, 434. But here's what we're here for. PLTY's the big one. $11.01 per share. That is the income estimate so far. Can you dig it, sucker? All right. Group B declares in 19 days on May freaking 21st. May 21st. I got to take a sip of water. I'm dying here. Ugh. Can't wait to get some normal sleep tonight. All right. So that's the update on the YieldMax funds, right? Does that make sense? Hopefully. All right. So what do we got next? We got to look at the pre-market, right? If it works. I don't know. It says I don't have freaking internet. No internet. So if I hit refresh, what's going to happen? Oh, it looks like I do have internet. So screw you, Google Sheets. All right, so this is as of 5:47 a.m. Clearly, I'm behind. Tesla is up 0.33%. They are at 281.44. TSLY is up 0.6%, 839. Nvidia is up 1.01%, 112.74. Nvidia is up 0.82%, 1480. Coin is up 0.65%, 202.61. CONY is up 0.81%, 751. MSTR, ooh, man, do they ever slow down? They are up 1.36%, 386.78. MSTY, I mean, this fund rules. That's it. It's plain and simple. Misty freaking rules. We got to get some Misty merch, right? We're all going to be wearing Misty shirts soon, which, FYI, YieldMax is making some merch. So get ready for that. And they may give me a link for that, by the way. I don't know. So they say, which means click my damn link, right? I don't know. We'll see what happens. But yeah, hopefully they make some Misty shirts. Misty's up 1.14%, 24.77. T to the S to the L to the L, they are up. They're up 0.69%, 10.17. Obviously, some of my calls are looking in danger. TNA, unfortunately, is up. I don't need this one to be up, but they're up 2.85%, 26.66. AMZ is down 1.03%, 15.36. Bitcoin is up 0.07%, 96,638. BitX is up 0.28%, 46.59. Saxo is up 2.31%, 12.38. SMCI is up 0.46%, 32.88. SMCY is up 0.61%, 18.20. Palantir is up 1.09%, which didn't we just say we needed to go down a little bit, chill out? Well, not looking like it right now. They're at 117.49. And then last but not least, it's your boy, PLTY. They are up 0.72%, 65.42. Don't mind them. They just launched at $50, and now they're at $65, paying out massive distributions. That's right, a YieldMax fund that has growth and massive distributions, just like Misty. So imagine owning those two, man. You'd be rich, boy. You'd be rich. You'd be retired on dividends. Not like me, working my ass off on dividends. I mean, on nothing, on paycheck, right? Active income, anyway. So that's the update on the YieldMax funds. Right now, I will get into my options trading account and then the dividend car account. So if you're cutting off now, I just want to say thank you for watching. If you're hanging on, thank you even more. All right, so let's get to it. Okay, so options trading. Here's my options trading spreadsheet. Real quick, FYI, I did put the options trading, the template for this. If you guys want it, it's free. Of course it's freaking free. Come on. It's in the Discord, which is also free. The link is on my YouTube channel. And no, I won't direct message you, so please block, report, delete. All right, I got a Misty put. It's expiring today. It's a $20 strike price. If MSTY stays above 20, this expires worthless and I don't get the shares. But I do get my collateral back of $2,000. MSTY closed at $24.49. That's 18% away, 18% out of the money. Needless to say, this contract will expire worthless. So I will have to sell another put. All right, TSLL. There's a lot going on here. Did I do anything yesterday, though? Yes, I sold a call. I'm sorry, I rolled a call. Which call did I roll? The freaking 9. All right, I have a $9 strike. Of course, that sucker's in danger. If we go up here, the 9, right? 5% in the money. I rolled this one just in case so it doesn't get assigned. So I did a rolling order and I rolled it into next week. I kept the same strike. And how much did I get premium-wise? I got $1.68 for the new trade and I had to pay $1.43 to close the old. So I got a 25-cent credit for that rolling order, or $25. Simple as that. And then everything else expires. Well, not everything else. I do have a couple 5.9s. Oh, this one I meant to talk about the other day. I did sell a call for the 14 strike. And then I think TSLL tanked. So I closed it the next day, collecting 56% of the premium. So sometimes I will do that. So if I sell a call and I'm able to capture, more than 50% or even at least 50% of the premium in one day, especially a 1 week call or more, then I'm going to close it. And that, I forgot to mention that yesterday. So that I did. Let's look at what's expiring today. Got the heater on, but I'm about to turn it off. Freaking sweat my ass off. I got a bunch of calls expiring today. I got the 10. That one's in danger, right? The 11, not so much. 11.50, the 9 I rolled. The 9.50, definitely in danger. And then another 10 in danger. Then we have a 13. Oh, that's for today too. That should be okay. And then I got a put for $9. That should be fine. That's for today. And then everything else is for next week. But again, I'm going to have to do some rolling orders on the TSLL calls that are in the money, because I don't want to get assigned, right? Because my average cost basis sucks, and that would be a capital loss, and we're not doing that. We're not dealing with that. NVDX, guys, guess what? I went to roll the 6, I went to roll the 650, and not so much, man. They offered me a freaking $2 credit. I'm not, you know what? I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. So as we stand, the 6 and the 650 are going to get assigned, and that'll be a loss. But I don't care about NVDX because, again, this one I said I'm getting out anyway. So it's all good. But I did roll the 7 into next week. I got a credit for that of $12. So that's fine. Annualized yield 68%. So again, NVDX will live to see next week, but 200 of the shares may be gone. Just an FYI on that. TNA, all right, this is my favorite position. What did I do yesterday? Well, let's see. I rolled the 24. So if we go up here, we have a $24 strike that was expiring today in the freaking money, right? It's in the money by 7%. Now, obviously, what did they close at? $25.92. So I rolled it yesterday, so there's no chance of assignment, hopefully, for tonight, overnight, or today at the open. You never know. So I rolled it into next week. 5/9 expiration, same strike. How much did they pay me? Well, if you click here, they paid me $2.42 per share for the new position, but I had to pay $2 to close out the old. So these two transactions, overall, that's the rolling order. So I got $42 in total. And that's about a yield of 74%. So that's good stuff. Now, what about everything else for today? All right. What about everything else that expires today? Well, I got calls, right? I got a 28 call. That's still 8% out of the money. I got a 29 call. That's 11% out of the money. Those two I'm not worried about. I got a 24 call. That one I rolled, right? And then I have a put that I sold, 21. That one's definitely going to expire worthless. So we'll let that do its thing. I'll get the collateral back, and then we'll sell puts next week. And then we got TNA. What do we got? $25 call. This one's in danger. I didn't roll it yesterday because, what if TNA opened down today? Then this could expire worthless. Doesn't look like TNA is going down, so I may have to roll this right away in the morning. And we'll see what we can collect in premium for that. Now, we also have a put, a 23 and a 22. We sold 2 puts. I don't know if you guys remember. That was earlier in the week. It turns out to be a good decision. So that money, that $25 each, was well worth it. And these should expire worthless. But again, anything can happen. We'll see how the day goes, but they should be fine. I have a $30 call for TNA for next week. That's 15% out of the money. And obviously I have another $20 put. That's 22% out of the money. So, yeah. So it's going to be an interesting day. So far, income-wise, let's see. Did I update the? Yeah, I guess it's on here. I did make $256. It doesn't look like I'm going to hit 500 for the week, but we'll see. Hey, you never know. I may have a lot of rolling orders to do, so I may get a decent credit, and I may do some degenerate plays. You never know, to boost up my income. We shall see. All right. So anyway, that's the update on the options trading. Now we will move on to the dividend car, and then we will be done with it all. So, what is the dividend car account? If you're new to the channel, here's what happened. Our car broke, right? One of our cars broke, and wife always wanted a minivan. So we bought it, and I'm like, you know what? Let's just close out the 401k. Screw that thing, and then we'll pay off we'll just buy the car. Close off the 401k, put it in a brokerage, regular brokerage, because obviously there was more than enough for the car. But I said, you know what? I'm not going to pay off the freaking car, right? The car interest rate was 8%. So what I said is, I'm just going to schedule the car payment to come out of the taxable brokerage. Again, this was a 401k. We moved it to a taxable brokerage. And we're gonna pay the dividend. We're gonna pay the car payment automatically out of this account, and I'm gonna invest in funds that'll work for me. Now, keep in mind, this is not an active fund like the other account I use. This is me paying the ETFs to do the work for me, so they're kind of paying the dividend. We call it the dividend car. It's a van, and they're paying other bills as well. So what I do is, again, this is pretty much a brokerage that's on auto. So it pays the car and it pays quite a few other bills, and we'll get through that in a second. So we'll cover all that. All right. So let's get to it. So we are in April. So as far as the weeklies, what weeklies do I own? Please ignore the number of shares. I'm not sure if that's 100% accurate, but these are the weeklies I own in this account. XDTE, RDTE, QDTE. So all the Round Hill weeklies. Well, I'm sure there's more now. But I also own Defiance, the 3, WDTE, QQQY, and IWMY. I own YMAG, I own YieldMax, I own YBTC, I own LFGY, GPTY, and now ULTI, okay? So basically I invest for this account. This pays me a weekly paycheck, all right? And that weekly paycheck pays my bills. And that's pretty much it. I also own Misty, which you'll see in a second. But anyway, so the weeklies, all those funds, they paid me $1,338 this month. I own 500 shares of Misty in this account. Misty paid a dividend of $1.34 this month, so they paid me $668, okay? Also, I do very little bit of options. And to be honest, my plan, I was selling puts on TQQQ using the margin interest free. And then TQQQ decided to tank. So I sold a put 65, and it got assigned early. So what happened? Well, I got 100 shares of TQQQ with a cost basis of 65. So instead of just letting it sit there, what I did is I sold a call as far out as June 20th, and I chose a strike price of 65, so I'm not losing any capital. At the time, it was 45% out of the money, but it still paid me 80 cents per share, or $80 total, which I know the annualized yield is weak, but it's better than zero. That's 11% annualized yield. So those 100 shares that I got assigned, I did not want to get assigned. I did not expect that. I did not expect the market to tank, but it is what it is. I sold a call at 65. I collected money. So those 100 shares that are sitting in the account, they're making, it's making me premium. Hey, if it recovers over 65, it gets called away. That's good. Bye-bye. See ya. But if by June 20th, it's under 65, I'm just going to sell another call at 65 or higher. I don't know. We'll see where TQQQ is at that time. Okay, so I did make $80 in options premium, which is not that much. You can see last month I made $260, month before that. So I was doing better in options premium, but you saw what happened. That call is way out of the money, so I'm lucky I even got $80. So total income I made this month, $2,000.86, okay? So keep that in mind. Now, bills. What bills am I paying? Well, the car payment, right? The car payment is $400. Okay, so that has to be paid. It's a $400 car payment every single month. And then I got all these other bills. So let's see how they're doing. Well, obviously the car's at the top. Then I got gas bill, $235. That comes out automatically. Boom, see ya. Internet and phone, $223. Boom. Parents' internet, all right, boom, $34.99. And then electric bill, $165. So total bills, all bills, $1,059. Right, did that? Yeah, so that's including the car payment. And then last month, you'll look, so we did go down a little. The internet phone, that will go up probably next month because my son broke his watch and we didn't have the the protection plan. And we ended up just paying that watch off and getting a different one. But yeah, so that bill will be higher next month. But whatever, who cares? So anyway, total bills, $1,059. Let's go back to the summary tab. So you'll see here, you'll have car payment, and then you'll have other bills, $659, okay? So if you total the two, where do I have? Well, I guess I do total at the end, but the total of the two, it's about, we saw $1,059, whatever. So we made $2,086, and we just had to pay those bills, right? And we also had to pay margin interest, $52.77. So, and I did deposit $250. So extra money this month, I had an extra $1,224, okay? That's total income minus expenses plus deposits. So I was able to reinvest 58%, which is good. Again, considering how crappy the month was in the beginning. Obviously, it's getting much better now. The market is coming back. But, overall, again, what matters is I'm making more money than what's coming out of the account. And that's what I need to happen. A couple other things. Account balance, we'll talk about that. It's at $45,000. Actually, slight increase from the prior month. What yield am I getting on my money? 55% yield. Again, just like my other account says, my goal is like 50% yield. So that's still pretty good. And I said I own 500 shares of Misty. My Misty cost basis is $29.10. All right. And what's Misty today? 24. So like if Misty actually goes back to 30, I could probably sell calls on Misty too and collect some premium. But I don't know if it's going to get that high. I guess you never know. But for now, my Misty shares, they're just sitting there, making me money. We saw they made me $668 this month. But guess what, guys? The month of May, we just talked about it. It's going to be a nice payment, so we'll see. And there's the interest rate for the car. It's 8.74%. Interest per the month, 141. Yes, of course, it seems like, you don't want to pay that. You don't want to pay the bank any interest. But again, if I'm yielding 55% on my money, regardless of what the capital's doing, up, down, all around, whatever. I'm yielding 55% on my money, and 8.74% doesn't seem that bad, right? And also, yes, I'm using some margin, not a lot. TQQQ kind of made me use more margin, which is okay. It happens. So I had to pay a little more interest than the last month. Last month was 47.70. You could see, like, I'm slowly using a little more margin. So what I'm doing actually is this extra money, this excess money, is just paying off the margin. And then eventually the interest will go back down. And what I'll do is I'll probably sell another put on TQQQ when the time comes. Again, I don't want to dip into the margin too much because I don't trust the market right now. We still have a lot of the pending tariffs, a lot of dates coming up too involving the tariffs. So you just don't know. You got to be a little smart too. Quick update on the car balance, 19,054. Oh no, I'm sorry. I owe 18,795 and whatever. So yeah, that's pretty much it, man. I have the payoff calc, which again, who cares about that? That's only when I'll update that when I start to pay a little more than $400 a month towards the car, which, is there a benefit? I don't see it right now. But maybe someday. I know Ramsey will kill me. I'm a Dave Ramsey guy-ish. I'm a Dave Ramsey-ish guy. And, I hate that. But, at the same time, I was okay doing this. And I'm not saying this is smart by any means. It's just something I wanted to try. And, it's working, even though, again, the market took a dump, man. It's rough. And, of course, yeah, you're in these funds, and hopefully these funds recover, reasonably. We'll see. You see my degenerate funds, right? Right. And, yeah, I like these. And there are other weeklies. Feel free to point them out to me. I haven't really honestly been looking what new funds are coming out. But if there are other weekly payers that are good, that are out there, please let me know. But yeah, that's the update on the Dividend car account. That's the update on my options trading account. And that's the update on YieldMax funds. So again, I apologize for the excess video, but I said I'm only doing one video a day. And I'm sticking to it, at least until baseball season is over. I just don't have the time. I barely have the time for this. I'm looking, actually, let me look at my watch, see what time it is. Oh my God, 6:09. I got to end this video. That being said, as always, this is not financial advice. I am not a financial advisor. This video is for fun and entertainment. So hopefully you had fun. Hopefully you're entertained. If not, we'll try again tomorrow. If you enjoyed this content, please hit the like button. If you have any questions or concerns, leave them down below. Outside of that, it's keyword time. So if you made it this far in the video and you want to prove it, you gotta say the keyword. What's the freaking keyword? I don't know, man. I don't know. What are we thinking? How about dividend car? Let's just make it dividend car. Because everyone is a fan of the dividend car update. So let's just do the keyword of the dividend car. So if you made it this far in the video and you would like to prove it to myself and others, you have to type dividend car in the comments down below. All right, that being said, let me end it there. And let me just say thank you guys for watching. And I hope everyone has a great day. And I'll talk to you tomorrow. Later.